Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. We got game one of a three-game series between the Milwaukee Braves and Philadelphia Phillies. Leading off for the visiting Milwaukee Braves is Hugh Duffy playing center field. Batting second and playing second is Bill Sweeney. Batting third and playing right field is Hank Aaron. Batting fourth playing third base Eddie Matthews. Batting fifth playing first base Joe Adcock. Batting sixth playing left field Tommy Holmes. Batting seventh and playing shortstop Dave Bancroft. Batting eighth doing the catching Del Crottle. And batting ninth and pitching for the Braves is Dick Rudolph. Now for the hometown Philadelphia Phillies. Leading off playing center field Billy Hamilton. Batting second and playing left field Ed Delaney. Batting third playing right field Chuck Klein. Batting fourth playing first base Don Hurst. Batting fifth doing the catching is Spud Davis. Batting sixth playing third base is Pinky Whitney. Batting seventh playing second base is Francisco Thompson. Batting eighth playing shortstop is Honey Sand. And batting ninth and doing the pitching for the Phillies is Earl Moore. Let's get down here to the stadium and get this game started. And to lead it off here for the Braves is Hugh Duffy. He's batting .373 with a homer and ten RBIs. And got storms coming through here, and looks like the internet's going to act up. And Moore has an ERA of 8.68. And here's the pitch to Duffy. And that's going to be a fly ball out to his counterpart in center field, and Hamilton makes the catch for out number one. And Bill Sweeney grabs the bat and comes up. And Sweeney's batting .211. He's got a homer and 6 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball. This one out to Klein in right field. 2 fly balls, 2 outs. And up to the plate now is the hammer, Hank Aaron. And Hank is batting .303 with 6 homers and 17 RBIs. And that's going to be against the righty at 19. That's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes out Hank. And that's a 1-2-3 top of the first. We get to the bottom of the first with a no score. Hamilton. Excuse me. Delaney and Klein. And as you can see, the Braves' upcoming schedule, they got 2 more games against these Phillies. Then they travel to New York to take on the Giants. And we got Billy Hamilton to lead it off for the Phils. Only batting .182, but he's got an on-base percentage of .384, folks. He's got a homer, 18 and 3 RBIs, but he's walked 18 times and stolen 15 bases. Here's the pitch to Hamilton. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Tommy Holmes makes the catch for out number one. And up to the plate, Ed Delaney, batting .431, 4 homers and 14 RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls. Delaney's down at first with 1 out for Chuck Klein. And Klein is leading the National League and the majors with a .443 batting average, 4 homers and 20 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Duffy for out number two rather. So Delaney's down at first, 2 outs now for Don Hurst. Hurst batting .214. He's got 3 homers and 13 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Bancroft's up with it, goes the short way to second. And that ends the bottom of the first. We get to the top of the second, no score. Matthews, Adcock, and Holmes due up. And you see the Phillies' upcoming schedule. They got 2 more games here in Philadelphia against the Braves. Then they go on the road, stay home rather, and play the Dodgers. Matthews comes to the plate batting .267, 5 homers and 16 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out to right field. Klein makes that catch for out number 1. Joe Adcock grabs a piece of wood and comes up batting .345, folks, with 7 homers and 18 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Pinky's got it, fires over to first to Hurst for out number 2. And Tommy Holmes now up. Nobody on and 2 outs. Batting .300, no homers and 4 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the sand. And that'll be a 1-2-3 inning for the Braves. To the bottom of the second we go. We got Davis due up here, followed by Whitney and Thompson. And Spud's batting .333. He's got 4 homers and 14 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Sweeney at second. Easy play for him for out number 1. And Pinky's up now. Pinky is batting .240 with a homer and 5 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out into left field. Holmes makes the catch out there for out number 2. 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the second. Brings up Thompson. And Thompson's batting .271 on the year, 2 homers and 8 RBIs. And that's a fly ball out to nope. That's a ground ball down to Joe. He makes the play by himself for out number 3. To the top of the third we go. And we got the bottom part of the order due up here for the Braves: Bancroft, Crandall, and Rudolph. Dave is batting .250 on the year. He's got no homers and 7 RBIs. And that's going to be a base on balls. So Dave trots on down to first. And Dale's up now. And they're going to try a little hit and run here. Try to stay out of the double play. Get the runner in scoring position at least. And a 14. That's going to be a hit and run. He's going to take off running, trying to steal. 22 on a ball. See if Dave can get in here. 22 is a 44 or lower. He's safe. And they get him on the failed hit and run. Throw the runner out. Now there's 1 out and nobody on. A 1-0 pitch to Dale. And that's going to be against the righty 18. And that's going to be a ground ball. Nice play down there by Sand. He's got it. Fires over to first. Now there's 2 outs and nobody on. And Dick Rudolph's up now. And Rudolph batting .143. No homers and no RBI. And that'll be a ground ball out in front of the plate. And Davis, not a great catcher here. Fielding catcher anyway. 35. 7. That's going to be an error on a Baltimore chop. That's an E2. So Spud Davis makes an error. And Rudolph is on base here. So now you got 2 outs, and Rudolph says we don't need no stinking DH, and we're back to the top of the order and Hugh Duffy. And Duffy, he flew out the center his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the sand. He's got it over to second for out number 3. The Braves strand 1. We go to the bottom of the third. Still no score here in Philadelphia. Sand, Moore, and then back to Hamilton. And Heine's batting .163. No homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Joe for out number 1. And that brings up Moore. And Moore is 0 for 3 on the year. And that's going to be a 19. That's going to be a ground ball back to Dick. He fires over to first for out number 2. As you see, Ed Delaney's got a 12-game hitting streak. Chuck Klein, a 6-game hitting streak. And Billy Hamilton's up. He flew out the left his first time up. And that's going to be another fly ball. And again, that's going to be out the left field for out number 3. And the Phillies go down in order. To the top of the 4th we go. We got Sweeney, Aaron, and Matthews due up here. See if the Braves can make some noise here in the 4th against Moore. Sweeney's 0 for 1. He flew out the right. And Sweeney's going to square this one up, see where this ball ends up at. And that's going to be a double in the right field off the scoreboard out there. And Sweeney with the leadoff double. And the hammer's up now. Can he hammer him in here? Aaron is 0 for 1, struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Actually, that's going to be a pop-up down the short. And that'll be 2-1 out. And Eddie Matthews is up now. The runner's still down at second. And Matthews, he flew out the right his first time up. And that's going to be a 17. That'll be a ground ball down the second. Maybe a 54 on a 7. 4. Yeah, not a very good fielding second baseman. That'll be fielding column 3. With 1 out. That'll be a pop fly. Whitney calls for it, makes the catch for out number 2. So it's going to take a 2-out base hit here by Joe Adcock to drive in the go-ahead run. Adcock grounded out the third his first time up. And that's going to be a base on ball. So Adcock walks on down the first. And leaves it up to Tommy Holmes now with first and second. Still 2 outs. Holmes grounded out to short his first time up. And that's going to be a 17. And that is going to be a fly ball in the center field. The Braves strand 2. And it's still no score as we go to the bottom of the 4th. We got Delahaney, Klein, and Hurst due up here for the Phils. The Braves blow a nice chance with that leadoff double. Can't get the run in. And Ed walked his first time up. And that's a swing and a miss. He struck him out, folks. And that is Dick's first strikeout of the game. Now Chuck Klein's up with nobody on. He flew out to his counterpart. Duffy flew out to Duffy in center his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Matthews. Quick 2 outs here. And it's up to Mr. Hurst to keep this inning alive for Phillies. And Hurst, he grounded into a 4th play. And that's going to be a 16. That's going to be an infield hit. Don Hurst with the second hit of the ball game. And the Phillies with 2 outs got a runner in scoring position. And Bud Davis is up now. And Davis grounded out to second his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Aaron now to win the inning. Phillies strand 1 to the top of the 5th we go. Bottom part of the order due up here for the Bravos. Bancroft, Crandall, and Rudolph. And Dave, he walked his first time up and was thrown out in the botched hit and run. And that's going to be a infield hit. Dave's aboard again here, folks. Nice job by Dave to lead it off. That's the Braves' second hit of the game. And again, Crandall is going to try some hit and run here. See if he can make contact this time. And that's going to be 53. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. And their only play is going to be over to first with the hit and run on. I kept him out of the double play. Now Rudolph's up with a runner in scoring position. And he reached on an error his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. And Dave's going to stay put for out number 2. So it's up to Mr. Duffy to drive in first run of this ball game with 2 outs. He is flown out and grounded out. And that's going to be a 17 and a 10. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And Sand makes the play, fires over to first. And again, the Braves strand a runner in scoring position. To the bottom of the 5th we go. Whitney, Thompson, and Sand do up. And Pinky is 0 for 1. He flew out the left his first time up. And that's going to be another fly ball out the left. Holmes is busy out there today. And that'll be out number 1. And Thompson's up. And he grounded out the first his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Dick. He fires over to Joe for out number 2. And it's up to Heine to get a 2-out rally going. And he grounded out the first his first time up. And that's going to be a base on balls. And now you got 2 outs and a runner down at first, and Moore's up. Let's see what happens here with Earl. He is 0 for 1 today. See if he shows us we don't need a suspension DH. Nope, that's going to be lifted in the shallow left right field, and Aaron comes in, makes the catch, and that'll do it. The Phillies strand 1 to the top of the 6th we go. We got Sweeney, Aaron, and Matthews up here trying to make some noise against Moore. And Sweeney has a double, and he's flown out the right. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Whitney at third for out number 1. Now you got Hank Aaron up now. And Hank's 0 for 2, struck out and lined out. And that's going to be a fly out to left field. And Delaney's got it. Quick 2 outs here in the 6th. It's up to Matthews to get a 2-out rally going. He is flown out and popped up. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. And that'll do it for the Braves in the 6th. The bottom of the 6th we go with the top of the order due up here. Hamilton, Delaney, and Klein. Billy's 0 for 2, flown out the left twice. And that's going to be another fly ball out the left. So he's hit 3 balls. He's done the hat trick out there, and Holmes has come up with all 3 of them. And Delaney steps up to the plate now, 1 out and nobody on. He has walked and struck out, yet to put the ball in play. And that's going to be another walk, so he still hasn't put the ball in play. So Delaney's down at first. And you got Chuck Klein. And if you're a Braves, you don't like this. Klein up with a runner down at first. Klein has flown out and grounded out, though. And that's what you didn't want to see. Klein squares this one up, folks. This might bring home the runner from first. We got a leaner here, so we'll roll. And that ball is high. That ball is far. Kiss it goodbye. Chuck Klein hits his 5th home run of the year, folks. Over the wall out there in right field, and it's 2-0 Philadelphia. So now there's 1 out, nobody on, and the Phillies are up by 2. And Don Hurst comes to the plate. Hurst is 1 for 2. He has reached on a fielder's choice, and he is singled. And that's going to be a base on balls by Hurst. So all of a sudden, Rudolph's struggling a little bit here in the 6th. Phillies trying to avoid a double play here with Spud. And he's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and flown out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And they'll get the lead runner out, but they won't be able to turn 2. Let's see, maybe they do. Ask batter. Let's see if that matters. Safe at first, runner out. No, don't matter if he's an ass batter or not. So that'll be a 6-4 put out. And now you got Davis down at first with 2 outs for Whitney. And Whitney is 0 for 2. He's flown out the left twice. And that's going to be a 2 balls and no strike count on Pinky. And that's going to be a 17. And that's going to be a single in the left field. Davis with his speed will stop at second. Now there's first and second and 2 outs. And Thompson's up here. Dick Rudolph still struggling to get out of this 6th inning now. 2 on, 2 out for Thompson, who's 0 for 2. Deuces everywhere as Aaron Reed joins us. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes to Thompson. And all of a sudden, Rudolph's getting behind in the count. And that's going to be a 17. And that's going to be another single in the left field. And Thompson may drive in a run here with 2 outs. Davis doesn't have much speed. Holmes does have a good arm, but with 2 outs, I think he should score easily. And he does. Question is, will Whitney get down the... Nope, he won't get down the 3rd. So that's going to be an RBI single by Thompson. And that's 3 runs scored now in this inning. And we still got first and second and 2 outs. And Heine's up. He is 0 for 1 today. He walked and grounded out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second, I believe. And 42 and a 7. Sweeney's not the greatest second baseman in the league. And that's probably going to be fielding column 3. Nope, that'll be fielding column 2. And let's see, that's going to be a throwing error. That's batter out at first. Nope, he's safe. And that's going to fill the bases up, folks. So that's an E4. And nothing's going right for the Braves here in the 6th. Pitching's letting them down, and now the defense. And Moore's going to come to the plate now with the bases full. Nowhere to put him. You got Whitney at 3rd, Thompson at 2nd, Sand at 1st, and Earl at the plate. He's 0 for 2, grounded out and flown out. And that's a big strikeout by Dick. But 3 runs come across the plate. And it's 3-0 Philadelphia as we go to the top of the 7th. Braves send up Adcock, Holmes, and Bancroft here against Moore. And Joe is 0 for 1 today. He has walked and grounded out. And that's going to be a fly ball out the Klein for out number 1. Braves need to score something here, I think. Try to nibble into this lead a little bit instead of trying to score all 3 of them in 1 inning. Holmes is 0 for 2, grounded out and flown out. And that's going to be another fly ball. This one out the center. And Hamilton's got it for out number 2. And Dave Bancroft's up now. Dave, he's got one of the 2 hits for the Braves. He singled and walked in this game. And that's going to be another base on ball. So Dave's aboard here with 2 outs. And Dale's up. Let's see if Dale can do something here. Dale is 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. 33 and an 8. 33 and an 8. It's probably fielding column 2. And it is. And that's going to be a first on air, runner to second. So that's going to be an E6 on Sand. And now we're going to have a pitch hitter here for Dick. He goes 6 innings. And let's see who's going to come off the bench here. Trying to tie this game up, maybe. We bring up Fred. He doesn't have a lot of power. What do we bring up? I think we're going to bring up Pal, the rabbit. Pal's going to come off the bench, has a little more power with first and second. See if he can deliver here. Got first and second and 2 outs. That's not who I wanted. Undo. Clicked on the wrong one. So what we got here? We got that was an error, right? Yep. That was an E6. Now we want Pal up. Okay. I want Pal up, not Bill. There we go. Now we got it straight. First and second. Pal's up. And Ray is 0 for 4. So hopefully he's due here if you're a Braves fan. You can deliver. At least score 1 here. First and second. 2 outs. And here's the pitch to Pal. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. And a 24-1. That should still be fielding column 2, I would think. Yeah, fielding column 2. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. He fires over to first, and that'll end the inning. So the Braves strand 2. And that might just be the ball game there, folks. As we go to the 7th inning stretch, it's 3-0 Phillies. And McFadden's going to come out of the bullpen here, try to keep it a 3-run lead in the 8th or the 7th here. So Danny McFadden comes out of the pen. A 3-0 Phillies game right now. And he's got the top of the order due up against him. Hamilton, Delaney, and Klein. Billy is 0 for 3. He's flown out 3 times to Holmes in left field. Does he get the golden sombrero for this? And that is going to be a fly ball this time. Duffy comes over and makes the catch for out number 1. Here comes Ed Delaney up now. And Delaney, he is 0 for 1. He's walked twice and struck out, yet to put the ball in play. He started that 6th inning with that walk and came around to score. And that's going to be another base on balls. Delaney's aboard again, folks. So Delaney's down at first for Chuck Klein. Remember what happened the last time Klein was up. He blasted one out of here. He's 1 for 3 with a 2-run homer. And they get him to swing and miss on that one. Big strikeout for Danny. Now there's 2 outs and a runner down at first for Don Hurst. And he's 1 for 2. He is walked and singled back in the 4th. And that's going to be 2 balls and no strikes on him. Here's the 2-0 pitch. And that's going to be a 14 and a 9. That's going to be an infield hit. Don Hurst is aboard here with an infield single. And that'll bring up Davis now first and second. And the Phillies trying to add to this 3-0 lead. And Spud's 0 for 3. He is grounded out, flown out, reached on a fielder's choice, and came around the score. And that's going to be a foul ball back behind the plate. Dale takes the mask off, makes the catch to end the inning. The Phillies strand 2. We go to the top of the 8th. It's still a 3-0 Phillies lead. We got the top of the order due up here against Moore. We got Duffy Sweeney and Aaron. Braves definitely with this part of the lineup up needs to get some runs here. And Duffy is 0 for 3. He's flown out, grounded into a forced play, and grounded out. And that's going to be a fly ball out to right field. And that's going to be a single, and he's going to reach second on the air. So that's going to be a single in the right field. And that's going to be an E9. And the batter's going to get down to second, folks, on the air. So Duffy down at second with nobody out. And Bill Sweeney at the plate. I'll get the bullpen up. And Sweeney is 1 for 3. He has a double back in the fourth. And that's going to be a foul ball. Down the first base line. In the foul territory goes Thompson. He makes the catch for out number 1. So now Hank Aaron's up. And Hank is 0 for 3. He is struck out, lined out, and flown out. And that's going to be a ground ball. Going to be down the third. And he's going to look the runner back to second and fire over to first for out number 2. So now it's up to Eddie Matthews to do something with Duffy down there at second. He singled and got the second on an air, and they haven't been able to do nothing with him down there. Matthews has flown out, popped up, and struck out. And that's going to be a ground ball down the sand. He fires over to first, and that'll end the inning. The Braves getting nothing as we go to the bottom of the 8th. You got Whitney, Thompson, and Sand due up here against McFadden. I forgot to tell you, this is McFadden's 5th appearance with a 6-something ERA. And Pinky is 1 for 3. He singled back in the 6th and flown out the left twice. That's going to be a ground ball down to Matthews. He fires over to first for out number 1. And here comes Francisco. And Francisco Thompson is 1 for 3. Got an RBI single back in the 6th. And he squares this one up, folks. Thompson's having a decent game here. We'll get his second hit of the game. And that's going to be a double in the right field. So a 1-out double. And up to the plate now steps Mr. Sand. Heine is 0 for 2. He's walked and reached on an air. And here's the pitch to Heine. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. Will the runner advance? That is the question. Nope, that's going to be a pop-up. In the left field, Matthews goes back, makes the catch for out number 2. And Moore's going to stay in this game, folks. He's got a 3-hit shutout going. See if he can give himself a 4-0 lead. He's 0 for 3. Grounded out, flown out, and struck out. And that's going to be a ground ball back to the mound. See if McFadden can make a nice play. And he does, folks. He gets that ball, picks it clean, fires over to first. Nice play by McFadden. And that'll end the inning. Get this counterpart out. We go to the top of the 9th in a 3-0 ball game. You can see the team replay comparison. The Braves are 8-9. They've scored 97 runs, 29 homers, 2 stolen bases. The Phillies are 9-5. They've scored 85 runs, 23 homers, 20 stolen bases, 6 caught steals. And you got Adcock, Holmes, and Bancroft due up here against Moore. Let's see if he can get a complete game here out of this. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Adcock out for out number 1. And Tommy Holmes is up now. And Tommy's 0 for 3. He's flown out to center twice and grounded out. And that's going to be back-to-back strikeouts. Holmes, he is wheeling and dealing here in the ninth. Can he strike the side out, folks? And Dave Bancroft is 1 for 1. He's walked twice and singled. And that's not going to be a strikeout, but that's going to be a ground ball down the pinky. He's up with it, takes his time, fires over to first. And that's your ball game, folks. The Phillies shut the Braves out and win this game 3-0. We'll go look at the box score here. Phillies are on a roll, man. The Braves are on a losing streak. Let's see what this is. That's Moore's first shutout's what the star is for. And the Phillies 3 runs on 6 hits and 3 errors. The Braves only 3 hits, no runs, and an error. And the 3 hits were by 3 different players. The Braves 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position, left 7 men on, obviously. And the Phillies didn't hit the cover off the ball. Don Hurst had a nice game. Chuck Klein with that 2-run homer back in the 6th was the thing. The Phillies were 2 for 4 with runners in scoring position. They left 9 men on base. Rudolph drops to 2-2, 6 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, walked 4, struck out 2, and gave up a homer. McFadden came in and did a nice job, kept it a 3-0 game. 2 innings, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. Moore goes the distance, picks up his first win. 9 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 3 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Take a look here at the standings and the leaderboard. And you can see the Giants and the Phillies are now tied up. The Cubbies are 2.5 games back. Dodgers 3. Braves and Pirates are 3.5 games back, and the Cardinals are 4.5. The Braves are on a 4-game losing streak, and the red-hot Phillies, they have won 7 in a row, folks. And look at this batting. Klein and Delaney. Klein with a .431 batting average, Delaney a .424, leading the National League. You got 3 players tied with 7 homers, Adcock, Lindstrom, and Mays, and Chuck Klein leading the National League with 22 RBIs. I believe that's leading the major leagues. Yep. Ted Williams only has 20. And you got Dazzy Vance leading the National League with a 1.62 ERA. Now you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pitchers tied with 3 wins. Marv Grissom with 4 saves. Whoa, went a little too far. Chuck Klein leading in MVP voting. And Dazzy Vance is leading in the Best Pitcher Award. We'll have game number 2 of this series on the channel next. And let's see what the pitching matchup is for this. And it looks like it's going to be Tyler against Sparks. I thought it was Alexander. Yeah, it's going to be Tyler against Alexander. I don't know why they got Sparks there. Why are they going to skip Alexander? Let's go back here and see what's going on. Should be Alexander, not Sparks. Yeah, after Moore is Alexander. Why they're skipping Alexander is beyond me. Doesn't make much sense. Skip over Grover Alexander. Named after 2 presidents. Let's see here. Is there a reason why they're doing that? Is he supposedly tired or what? Well, let's put Sparks in there once. I just want to see why they want to skip Alexander. He's not tired or nothing, so we're definitely not doing that. So it will be Alexander against Tyler. I want to thank Aaron Reed for joining us here today. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for reminders. And on your way out of Philadelphia, hit that like button and leave a comment. Until next time, y'all have a great day and take care.